Hello. Hello, and welcome to Smorgen Borgen, where music's talking, and you're stuck for the next half an hour or so listening to me, Andy Holden, having a wonderful chat with my friend Clint D'Souza.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, yes. Smorgen Borgen, yes. We put a lot of thought into this name.
Yeah, well, it's taken us 20 minutes to come up with Smorgen Borgen, where music talking.
Yeah,
So now we're
yeah.
rolling with that. Um,
It sets up nicely for the topics and the sort of depth and intellectual nuance that we're going to be putting in
Putting
to
over
it,
and deliberating on in
of
this one.
course.
But normally we would have a third co-host, our pal Zach Blow, but we're going without his parental influence at the moment, so this one's going to be a bit more off the rails than usual.
Yeah, we've called this one where mummy and daddy are not home. It's called Off the Meds. Um,
Morgan Borgin off the meds.
Smorgen Borgen, we're off the meds. We're music talking.
Okay, we've got about 9 or so topics because normally we do a topic per episode, but we've got 9 topics that me and Clint are going to rapid fire using all the powers of our ADHD.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it should be a good, fun time. So let's go with it. What's question number one?
Right, so the first question is songs you play at your enemy's funeral. Do you have an arch enemy, Andy?
Um, my League of Extraordinary Exes, I suppose.
All
No, I don't actually tend to particularly make enemies. Most people just nothing me.
wow, yeah. So most people mean nothing to Andy. He'd walk up to them in an instant.
True sociopath.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't feel like I've got an arch enemy, not like the typical one you see in a movie or something. No one whose my life mission would be to destroy. I think that's one thing.
Well, I
Except for
don't know.
myself.
I mean, I have people who I dislike, but I try my hardest not to include them in my life.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like American sitcoms where you just put up with your a horrible enemy coming into your house.
So I did have one though. Like while I was growing up in my secondary school, there was a kid who shared the same surname as me. So my last name is D'Souza, and his last name was D'Souza as well. And my argument was that I was born like a couple of weeks earlier than him, so I had the name first, and then he was copying me, even though we both had rich family
You're
history.
copying me.
And then he's like, "No, I wasn't. Go away. You're stupid." And then obviously we became arch enemies for a bit. We became good friends afterwards. But out of the most stupidest discussion, in the stupidest comments, we were enemies. I didn't like him.
Because he was copying you.
Yeah, I was there first, man. If you listen to this, I was there first.
Is this the guy who you were talking about earlier who genuinely just doesn't listen to music?
Yeah, he said, yeah, he's like, I just don't really listen to music, and there's no real. I mean, what can you say? Like, is it even worth saying why? 'Cause to me, I mean, I
Well,
don't think
I
anyone
suppose
would.
I suppose in this case, then playing any music at his funeral would be, a kick in the teeth.
That's true. That's true. But anyway, what would be the song you'd play that your enemy he or she or it or whatever is you're at the wake and I don't know, maybe they're cremating, so they're going into the fire, right? And you had the iPod in front of you, you had the Bluetooth speaker, and you had YouTube, Spotify, whatever. What would you press play on?
Well, I don't know. Given you've made it so specific there, I think I'd have to go with I've forgotten the fella's name, but I believe it's Arthur Brown.
Okay.
Um, and fire because it starts off with the whole "I am the god of hell,
Ah,
fire, and
yes.
I bring you fire." Yeah, I feel like that's pretty disrespectful for somebody being cremated.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, like his wife and kids are crying, or her husband,
And
and
family, and
yeah, he's like he was such a good person, he gave so much to charity, and you're like, whoo, yeah,
fire.
that's a good choice. Yeah. I am the god of hellfire. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know though. I don't know. All of the songs that I can think of that are sort of like spiteful or hateful in any way are sort of like too vaguely spiteful or hateful.
Yeah.
If you get my meaning. If I was truly like trying to like dig deep and cut someone like that, it would need to be something really like specific. Like, I don't know, like something that would be almost like ironic. It's like that. It's like that W.H. Auden poem, you know, the one which is like stop all the clocks, stop the dogs from barking. You know, there's nothing good to be had anymore now that this person is gone.
Yeah.
Which was made really famous in that Four Weddings and a Funeral film, when the gay fellas, he reads it at his lover's funeral. And it's really poignant and it's really lovely in that film, to be fair. But Auden himself was writing it about a dude he didn't like. So this poem, which is like unquestionably beautiful, about like, how can the world keep on going without this person existing, is totally like like the world would miss you.
Wow. Wow. So you do it with a deep sense of irony. That'd be really good. So no one would know the true intention of your words. That's pretty good. And they think better of you. So mine's a bit more like simple. It's just, mine is "You're So Vain" by Carly Simon. You probably think this song is about you. Yeah. And it's
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Because then if anybody had a go, you'd be like, well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice one. That's good. That's real good.
Yeah. Right. Quick fire. We're supposed to be going really quick.
Yeah. Lightning round, as it were.
Okay. Next topic. The last song on your sex playlist. Now, I can't speak for every guy or girl out there, but I think quite a lot of people, at least in adulthood or young adulthood, has made like a sex playlist. And as you get older, you tend to refine them as you find, like, they don't need to be hours long. You can have them for a couple of minutes.
It's just "You Suffer" by Napalm Death.
Yeah. Just a 2-second song of yeah, you're done. I guess now we could say, what would be the only song? But you'd have one. You start with some sensual, freaky, and then you get like crazy in the middle, and then you take it slow at some point. Everyone has their own sort of set, so to speak. What would be the last song on your set?
Ooh, Mad World. Actually, no. I want the original Tears for Fears version.
The original Tears for Fears one, yeah.
Yeah, with the 80.
Yeah.
And all around me.
Yeah. Would you get up and do the dancing? There's like some epic dancing in that video where the guy's feet are rooted to the ground and his top half of his body is pulling the most crazy shape ever. Like proper 80s dancing.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
might as well go whole, because I mean, you're never sleeping with that person again at this point.
Yeah.
So you might as well make them fully regret their decision.
Drive home the regret, right? It's the coffin in the regret coffin, nailed in the regret coffin. Wow. Okay.
Because I was thinking when you were saying like a good one, and I know this is like a probably a real standard answer, but I think "Closer" by Nine Inch Nails.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, that would be weird.
Well,
yeah, I wouldn't want to end on that. Clearly, you'd want that to be somewhere in the middle. But also, I am thinking that is like 7 minutes long, and it is disgusting.
Yeah.
I stand by my decision.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Wow. I've got a overactive imagination, so I am just trying to wash away the thoughts of you in my head right now. So, I mean, for my choice,
Tears for Fears dancing naked.
yeah, and then Closer comes on, and then that's descent into like that overwhelming noise, industrial noise coming over you, right?
Lighting a cigarette.
Yeah. So I've gone for something by JPEG Math. It's a new entry, right? It's called Jesus Forgive Me, I'm a Thought.
I love that song, man. That's a good idea, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just some JPEG Mafia for any of these actually would be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't they?
I bring this song up a lot. This is a slight tangent, but I do truly think this is probably his best song. I just cannot fucking wait for Morrissey to die.
Yeah,
That
it's
song is
amazing
so
song.
good. Oh dear.
Oh, wow. The next topic, I don't know where this one came from. I know it came out of my mind, but I'm trying to detach myself because it doesn't really make much sense. Uh, so it's the topic is songs you change your gender for.
Oh, no. I remember really liking that when you sent that through last night. I came up with some instant answers.
Okay.
I've never been able to relate to Girls Just Want to Have Fun
By Cyndi Lauper.
by Cyndi
Yeah.
Lauper.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'd have to roll with that.
Wow. Yeah, Andy is a blonde, fairly slim fella, so I it's not too far detached from sitting next to a mirror in his dressing gown, singing into a hairbrush.
It's like you've lived with me for 2 years or something.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I was struggling to come up with one of these, but I went for Black Magic Woman by Santana. I thought, I changed my gender for that. I don't know how or why.
I mean, just killer song choice in general.
Yeah.
Removed from the question, but
Yeah.
maybe Don't You by the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah. Full dance routine and everything.
I don't feel like we should dwell on this one. Okay,
No, we
lightning
should,
round,
no.
lightning.
Yeah. Right, okay, this next one's a great one, right? Albums that make open surgery without anesthesia bearable.
Oh, yes, good.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
Yeah. You get an open heart surgery, right? And they run out of anesthetic and they have to do it, but you can choose an album to get you through it. What would make it bearable for you?
See, there was a sort of dichotomy on this one because you'd want it to be chill enough and transcendental enough to sort of take you out of the moment, clearly.
Okay.
But there is a part of me that thinks like, right, you're in this deeply awful situation. It's as horrific as it can possibly be. What would be like the worst possible music to have on in the background to make the situation even worse? So I think for my transcendental sort of idea, which sort of links in with it, I think Godspeed You Black Emperor's F sharp, A sharp, Infinity would be good. Because it's only 3 tracks that are like an hour and 20 minutes long. I'm not sure how long open heart surgery is, but I imagine it's about that long. And it's all sort of movements, and it all sort of like tells a story going through. And some of it is like really sort of angular, edgy rock. And a lot of it is like really lovely sort of noise pieces, or ambient pieces, I should say. From like a music collective. So I think that would probably work really well. But I don't know, there is part of me that just thinks like, I don't know, maybe the entirety of the Powers That Be double album by Death Grips.
Yeah, okay, that's so interesting. I've never heard of that album, the one you mentioned, but I'll definitely check it.
I'll send it to you, it's amazing.
Yeah. But Death Grips was actually my choice. So I was just gonna go for The Money Store. I maybe we're both masochists. I don't know what's wrong with us. I was thinking exactly the same as you. So my final choice was The Money Store by Death Grips because maybe I thought it's probably not my favorite, but it is kind of catchy. Quite a lot of the songs there, so you could probably ignore the pain.
You could vibe with it.
Yeah, you could vibe with it. Yeah. My other thought was as well, like Bitches Brew by Miles Davis.
Nice.
You can really lose yourself in it, and it's quite long, so
tangenting slightly, but have you
Yeah.
ever seen? There's a photograph of a I believe it's a Ukrainian fellow way back in like the 1940s or 1950s, removing his own appendix.
No.
Or as like a surgeon. It's madness. I think I might have the surgery that he's doing wrong, but he's doing surgery on himself because he's like the only surgeon in the area who's good enough to do it. So
Wow,
it's
that's
wild.
insane.
It's absolutely wild to look at. Yeah.
That's the idea of cutting open his. No, isn't there like an automatic reflex people have from stabbing themselves or going to? I mean, like pulling out an organ goes against every instinct, right?
Yeah. Your animal instinct is entirely not to do that.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't know. No,
Well,
yeah. But that was my tangent.
And,
On that one.
and someone's like, you know what? This will make a great picture for the family.
Well,
album."
yeah. There is always that. I would suck it in.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
cool though.
I like to think like what people do today when they see like an emergency happening or someone suffering on the street. You know, they just get their phone out. I feel like I can imagine someone like, oh, wait there, while he cuts himself open. Let me get my my tripod and my 10-minute exposure camera out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's going to be sat there for a while.
Yeah. It's like, can you do it slowly, please? Stop moving your
Make
head.
it all-
Hey. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Next topic. Songs/albums you disown your friends if you caught them listening to. Now I was thinking about this. Like, there's nothing in my recent years that I would really like disown my friends for.
I think this very much this sort of question would have appealed to teenage me.
Yeah,
like
actually.
very much. I used to be very opinionated and I still am, but the whole judgmental side of things.
Yeah.
Because now it's just like you know live and let live. You know, love and let love. Like whatever. If you're into something, like who am I to say that you know we can't be friends because you like that.
Yeah.
But
That said,
Having said-
you would think twice. You would avoid them in certain situations, and you would do certain things if they listen to what.
I think, like, and to be fair, this is me being really pretentious to a certain degree, but I think just genuinely like top 10 chart music
Okay.
being like the main, like, yeah, that's the main graft, like the main drift of all of your musical listening.
Okay.
Is legitimately that. Or to be fair, to be more specific, if you think Sam Smith or Adele are good.
And you don't?
No, I think they're really shit, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. So if you could pick a particular song or album, you've gone for the majority of money making music in the Western world, at least.
Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, I feel like I should take that back. I think if we are going to go down this route, though, I genuinely think Sam Smith is insanely overrated.
Okay. He's got a beautiful voice, though, no? That's what Lady Gaga said or something, you know?
She's entitled to that opinion. I don't think
Yeah.
it's like I'm not trying to start beef on the guy. Like, well done, he's very successful, and you know, I'm recording a Skype call in my bedroom. You know, like,
Yeah.
who am I to, you know, who am I to be overly judgmental of the fella? But I think I have met far more talented singers than him throughout my time being a musician.
Okay. Well, I would agree. I think it's mostly garbage. Some songs he does with the great producers are catchy, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I've weirdly enough, I've gone for something similar. So I picked an actual album. I think I picked one. Now thinking about it, I think this is one of the most. This is probably one of the most best-selling albums ever. It's Divide by Ed Sheeran. I
Oh man, it's
detest
garbage.
that. It's just
shit.
it's just watered down.
Oh, dude, I no hate on the people I was working with. I was working with some lovely guys and some not so lovely guys, but that's a whole different story. When I was working as a kitchen porter, sort of when I just finished my master's degree, and at the end of every fucking shift, they'd put on the same playlist, and so to be fair, some of the playlist was cool. They had some Eminem. They had some Eminems. They had some Eminem in there, like some proper old school, like Slim Shady stuff. It was cool. They had like one of the guys really liked Korn and Linkin Park, so I always vibed with that. To be fair, not gonna lie. While I'm sitting on my pedestal judging people, you know, I do still like Korn and Linkin Park, so you know, take it all with a pinch of salt. But one of the guys would always have it, and it would hit the Ed Sheeran section.
Yeah.
And it was a good 45 minutes worth of different Ed Sheeran songs, and it was in the same order every time, and he loved it every time. He fucking absolutely loved it when it got to the Ed Sheeran part. And like, you know what, fair play to the fella, you know, we all enjoy different things, but if I had to listen to that whole fucking what is it? We were just friends, but we're so in love. You know that song?
Yeah.
Fucking every time that one came on, I did want to just slip my wrists.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Bah.
Yeah. I feel the same. I mean, I can see why people like it. And for me, I think if you've heard one Ed Sheeran song, you've heard every single pretty much Ed Sheeran song, and I don't like any of them. I'll be honest with you. I would say he's a talented singer and guitar writer when it comes to basic chords, but I just don't like it. I just think it's just so. I don't know what it is. It just grinds my gears when I listen to it.
It really grinds my gears.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Yeah. I think we see eye to eye on that one. To be honest.
Okay.
Go away, girl, man. That makes me want to hurt people.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right? The majority of people would disagree with me because the majority of people love him, right?
Yeah, and that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Okay, moving on. The best key change, just in general, the best key change.
Oh, shit! I should have put more thought into this one. Do you mind going first? Because you've obviously put some thought into it, whereas I'm just going off the top of my dome.
So I had a few ideas in my head for this one. I thought about, I think it was Body Snatchers by Radiohead. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's an actual key change, but I'm gonna give you it. Because that's that section where it just hits the high note and like everything drops out apart from like pretty much the acoustic guitar and the drum. Yeah, it's so good.
Okay, fair enough. But I didn't go for that.
Fair enough.
I was thinking something from the Beatles, Penny Lane or something, right? But what actually got me, so a lot of the time I tell people the first album I bought was Demon Days by Gorillaz, the best first CD, but it wasn't, right? It's all a lie. The first album the first CD I bought was a Westlife CD.
Oh man!
Now
man.
And I used to be ashamed of this fact, but not anymore. And nearly every single song in there had a key change.
About 3/4 of the way through, like before the final chorus, you gotta
And if you watch any sort of live musical performance by Westlife, you'll have them all sitting down on a stool, right? And then when the key change happened, they all simultaneously stand up from the stool, right?
Yeah, dude.
And the lights brighten, and it's magical. So I chose "What About Now" by Westlife as the best key change.
Oh, dude, I love that song.
Yeah.
What about now?
Yeah. What about today? Yeah. There you go. Just for that moment of when I was growing up and just watching them now perform, that's it always brings a smile to my face. So have you got any ideas on what you consider to be the best key change?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of like 80s synth pop will have had some. So there's got to be like a Duran or something like that.
Yeah, I mean they just put them in where they made no sense in the 80s, didn't they?
Oh no, right. Yeah, you know that song. I think they were called Berlin. You know, you take my breath away.
Yeah.
I swear that has a key change in it, and I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, right. Take my breath away. Yeah. Wow. It's a good song. Look, we've gone for similar songs, you know, ballads.
Oh man.
Wow.
But to be fair, I'm sure the Beatles or somebody like that had like
Probably.
yeah, well they did they will have had. It's just about which one.
Fair enough. It's quick fire. We don't. It's we can move swiftly on.
Way I.
Yeah. This is similar to the last one, but this is the best change in direction for an artist, musically, artistically, spiritually, whatever you want to think of.
Oh well, I would argue Radiohead to a certain degree.
Yeah. Now, which one?
Well, yeah, there is that, but probably the Kid A.
We went for the same album then. Yeah.
Yeah, because because it was they were coming off the absolute high of OK Computer.
Yeah.
And they could have probably rehashed a similar style to OK Computer for the rest of their careers, and probably been more successful for it actually. But yeah, the sort of sideward step that was the inclusion of all the electronics and the weirdness that is Kid A.
It was a jump with both feet as well. I know the change of direction from like, was it Pablo Honey to was it the Benz?
Yeah.
Was a little bit, and then the same I would say from there to OK Computer, but then it was a huge for me, like huge jump when they went to Kid A, and it was amazing. I thought, yeah, we went for the same album.
And there's got to be, if you give me a moment to think.
Sure.
I guess maybe to a certain degree the step from the band being at the drive-in to being the Mars Volta is pretty wild. They went from being like one of the best post-hardcore bands like ever to being like modern day prog, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, bands don't really tend to change that much. I guess Muse from being one of the best bands in the world to being one of the worst. Hot takes from Andy's corner.
Yeah. I mean, have Muse changed that much though in their output?
I think that's more the actual issue. They haven't really.
They haven't evolved, and it's one thing that you evolve and then people are like, eh. But there's one thing not evolving as well, and then you can lose fans by not evolving. It's I mean, to be fair, Muse are probably bigger than they ever were, but I guess you lose certain types of fans maybe.
The pretentious asshole ones.
Yeah, the loser ones who bring your fucking band down. Yeah, so all the better for them, right?
For developing in a way you wanted to.
Yeah. So one of the other things I was thinking about was I said spiritually like as a bit of a joke, but now thinking, I would say Kanye West when he released Life of Pablo, he sort of refound his Christianity, and that affected the music he put out to some degree. He was still putting out like pretty hefty beats, a bit filthy beats sometimes, but that was in some sense a change of direction spiritually, and that did you could kind of see that in the music that he put out, which was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see that throughout a lot of things. I mean, arguably, people like David Bowie moving from that sort of glam rock into proper experimental sort of art rock, and then moving into more sort of like funk and but more like pop.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Dude, Danny Brown.
Totally, yeah. He got into experimental hip hop.
Yeah, because I mean, to be fair, Triple X is an amazing sort of EP introduction to his style, but I would say that was more sort of like old school hip hop. And then the album he released after that, Old, was sort of like trappy.
Yeah.
It was more like dance hits, to take MD to or whatever. And then that hop into Atrocity Exhibition is just madness.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of ways, I guess, thinking about now that an artist can change their direction. But you're right. A lot of artists don't, and sometimes their staleness loses fans, and sometimes they gain fans, or both in certain ways. It's interesting. And I reckon each one of these topics we could have discussed for an hour.
Oh
There's so
yeah, yeah,
much,
easy.
yeah, yeah. But that will be the end of our of our quickfire rounds.
Oh, fair.
Yeah,
Okay, well, to round off everything, I suppose, what you been vibing with this week?
that's a good one. I've been listening. Well, what have I been? It's been like a complete utter madness. So I'll have to remind myself what it's been about. I've been listening to The Weekend.
Oh,
Uh,
right, fair enough.
Weekend, yeah. Um, I didn't pay much attention ever, and she has some pretty bassy songs. I want to see because on Spotify you can see like the most listened to artist. He's number 1 in the world. I was like, what?
What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, why is he number 1? So I was just looking at the songs. They're pretty. They're pretty. Some of them are pretty out there. They're pretty crazy.
Oh, would you mind sending me some of that because he did the I can't feel my face when I'm with
Yeah,
you.
yes.
Right, that's
So
him.
there's some great party hits in there, but there's
Hmm.
also some other stuff which is a bit left field, which is quite interesting to listen to. So
Ah,
yeah,
cool.
cool. And what have you been vibing with this week?
Oh man, absolute chaos.
Yeah.
My friend Jacob, who plays drums in the band I'm in, he, as a joke, sent me a song by a fella called Passenger of Shit, called
Right.
"I Staple Tapeworms to My Penis,"
Right. Yeah.
um, which when me and you were chatting off mic the other day, I sent through to you, which is apparently the genre of music is called shitcore,
Shitcore.
uh,
Wow.
which makes sense. Which I think, I mean, if anybody is ever going to listen, I think I might have reminded a bunch of people of sort of them 2006, back in the day, watching Newground, and that, you know, shitey YouTube animations and things like that. It's that sort of humor, but the melody in that song has no right to be as pretty as it is. Um, Given a guy is shouting about stapling tapeworms to his penis over it.
Yeah.
It's just so actually beautiful. Like, I figured it out on acoustic guitar and it just sounds so lovely. Um,
I don't know what to do with that statement, but to end the show. Thank you so much, Andy Holden.
yeah,
Thank you very much, Clint D'Souza. Oh, you're welcome.
yeah. Thank you very
Uh,
much for chatting nonsense with me.
you've been listening to Smorgen Borgen.
We're
We were
music
off,
talking.
we're off our heads and we be music talking. Bye.
Bye.